All right. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Half Dolo. I game because I'm winning. Much love to everybody out there, man. This is the second episode of the Talk Your Game podcast. And on this episode, we have our guest, none other than the awesome Alan Brierley, who is in England right now. So, just for you guys to know, this is just an amazing time. And so I just want everybody to know that I'm super excited that he's here today. And, just to let everybody know, our podcast is sponsored by Jay Humble for Humble Drip LLC. He has some new stuff that he's got going on. So I just want to make sure that everybody knows that. And we're going to jump into our podcast for today. So shout out to my man Alan, who is in the building. So with that being said, Alan, how are you today, sir?
I am all good. Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure and a privilege to be on your second podcast. So,
Absolutely.
no, I am all good. Thank you.
Well, the first question that I have for you today is, how did you get into gaming? How did you get into gaming, Alan? Tell me about it.
So it started very, very early. To be fair, I think back in the day when I had a Sega Mega Drive for all people who are my age. I'm 43, so I started gaming when the Sega Mega Drive was up and running, probably mid 90s now. PlayStation came out.
Okay.
Obviously, yeah, so I got a PlayStation following having a Mega Drive. Like Sonic was the big game for me. So back in the early days of Mega Drive, Sonic the Hedgehog and a game. So I used to love playing boy growing up. And the PlayStation came out, and that took gaming to a new level, didn't it? So you think of the graphics of the Drive and whatnot. And
Uh-huh.
the PlayStation came out, and it just took gaming to a new level. So I was really captivated by PlayStation release. Then first game was Medal of Honor. So I don't know if you ever came across Medal of Honor. So it was similar to Call of Duty, but it was the real first game that came out on the PlayStation about World War and called
Oh,
Medal of Honor. I loved it. So I still remember the main character. The character in the campaign was called Jimmy Patterson. He played as Jimmy Patterson, and it was just a brilliant called Medal of Honor.
oh,
Remember Call of Duty came out, so I got into the very first Call.
okay. Are you close to your mic, or are you a little bit further away from your mic?
Can you hear me now, Ken?
Yeah, that's good. Okay, because
Yeah,
it was,
sorry.
yeah, okay, yeah. So that's amazing. So Medal of Honor. So were you pretty good at that game, or was it just?
Yeah, no, it was quite good. But and then though it was play online, so you obviously played the campaign first shooter, and then with your friends. Also, if your friend came around or your mates or me before played, we could play me against him. Uh, Split screen. I used to love playing that, and that's it in the days before.
Okay.
And you could play. So that was my first kind of experience playing first shooter games. Was Medal of Honor.
Medal of Honor. Yeah, that was a pretty cool game too. It really was. It really was. So yeah. So from Medal of Honor, I'm curious. Because that started you off Sonic and so in England was it popular? Because tell everybody where you're from. Are you what part of England you're from?
So I'm in Southport, which is in the northwest of England. So for anyone who's familiar, UK and England, we're about 20 miles from Liverpool and about 40 miles from Manchester, right on the coast, northwest part of England.
Awesome, 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 awesome. So now I just want to say this to everybody. This is very, very important because he's in England and I'm in the United States of America. So how did you meet Half Dolo?
Oh, that was well brilliant. So I taken my journey forward. So when I was playing Modern Warfare in about 20, got back into Call of Duty when Josh got a PlayStation 4. So I got out of gaming around 2007 and stopped playing because I bought a house with my wife. Well, she was my fiance at the time. Just stopped gaming just because thing, commitments and stuff like that. So I had about a 10-year sabbatical from playing on the game. Josh was born in 2011, and then I got him a PlayStation. Santa got him a PlayStation in 2017, and Call of Duty World was a game that came with it free. So I got into playing Call of Duty when I started the World War II game.
Oh, okay, World War II.
Hooked.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, so I was hooked. That literally got me back into playing Call of Duty, like the modern era Call of Duty. So I played that for 2 years because I was hooked. And then I remember getting Modern Warfare the 19 when that out. That then, because I was so into gaming,
Mm-hmm.
really into it, I thought, oh, and streaming kind of came more prevalent in 2019. I don't think it's huge, or I certainly didn't know it was huge. Like, I remember just thinking one day, oh, I'd love to know how to, watch some people. How do you get better? Get some tips off people.
Uh-huh.
I was just scrolling through YouTube and Facebook at the time, I think it was Facebook, and came across you, and
It was
just
Facebook
really
gaming. Facebook.
Facebook gaming,
Okay.
correct? Yeah, Facebook gaming. Yeah, that was it. I just remember you were very engaging. You weren't like, because I watched a few other people on Facebook,
Uh-huh.
like always, hi Alan, and welcome to the stream, asking questions, asking how I was getting on, and kind of rather me just being a complete stranger. Obviously, over time,
Uh-huh.
you're just really engaging. That's how I came to know you, just by going on Facebook gaming, trying to improve my game, and search for people, and then because you had a really engaging kind of character, really engaged.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Started watching you and you only, and that's how it came about. And I think I've been following you now for 4 or 5 years.
5
Which is incredible.
years. Yes.
Yeah.
That is amazingly incredible. 5 years. I mean, and this is during COVID, right? So tell me about your experience with COVID in gaming. Like what's your experience with that? Because there's a lot of people during that time. And for those of you out there that are listening, man, COVID was a time. Man, it was a lot of gaming going on. So tell me about your experience, from that point.
Yeah. So I think watching yourself in 2019, Modern Warfare came out, and then COVID started, didn't it, around the February? So in England, it landed around the February, March time of 2020. So only a few years,
Mm-hmm.
Modern Warfare, me following you, and then I remember lockdown around the March, April time, and I was followed. So in England, they had a scheme where they helped employers rather than lay people off because of the lack of income because of all the furlough scheme.
Uh-huh.
So some of my salary was paid, which I was really lucky in that regard. So I got to basically get a percentage of my salary paid while obviously the world locked down. Now my wife was unfortunate. They had what Alan was classed as a key worker, which carried on working from home.
Are
He
you
didn't get that opportunity. So I
what?
had Josh. So me and Hal were trying to manage, homeschooling Josh. Looking after Bella was one at the time. She'd just been born in January of 2019, so a year. Bella was only one, my daughter. So gaming,
So tell
watching you,
so tell everybody
like
who
a
Bella
release.
is.
So Isabella is, yeah, she's my beautiful daughter. She's 6 now. You obviously got to kind of go through the whole journey. I've got this, beautiful right the way through to it being 6, but I think going back to COVID,
Wow, that is amazing. That is
I
amazing.
think you support my mental health, and I've been honest with you and open, and like just being able to kind of escape the world, whole situation,
Mm-hmm.
what it was, when he was going to end, what's the ramification, sadly lost their lives. It was a horrendous time, wasn't it, COVID? All over the world, and how to go online and just chat with you and watch you, did the normal things I was doing,
Wow.
brilliant. And you honestly, I can honestly say it, part of my mental health, that gaming, watching clan, and
Uh-huh.
all of the clan and getting to know the clan, shout out to everyone who's there, they're getting to know. It was MBK back in those days, or yeah, wasn't it? I think it was. And then
Yeah, yeah,
and then
yeah.
it was, and yeah, and then obviously the rebrand and whatnot to ARK. Yeah, it was definitely, like I say,
Wow, well that's amazing, and
I'm heard. So
I really
ever thankful.
I really appreciate you saying that. That is a big deal because mental health is so huge, and there was a lot of stuff going on during that time. For those of you, um, I'm not sure if you ever been through situations like that, but there's a lot of people that talk about gaming and they say, you know what, gaming is bad for the mental health. But here, for those of you that are watching, those of you that are listening, um, that's a huge subject when it comes to gaming because people there's people they go at it like it's not good. Some people say it's better, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I agree with Alan because Alan said that helped him during that time, and there's a lot of people that were stuck in their houses during the COVID-19 situation that was going on, and people couldn't go out, and it was very difficult. So just to hear that from you, Alan, it's a blessing to me because you know it's wonderful to hear. You know what I mean? Like you never know who you're reaching when you're streaming. You never know who you're able to touch and help out during those times when you're streaming. And like I said, I salute you, and I really appreciate you tuning in, man.
No, and I said to you, I appreciate you did because I say you could have, ignored me and like the other fan and the other follower. But you, like you say, that engage, get
Absolutely.
involved and stuff, and follow you through the AMAX and the Wilson. Do you remember those days? Wilson on Modern Warfare 19. Jugsy. We used to call it the Jugsy, didn't we? Dolo's got the Jugsy out again.
Yeah, the jug. Yeah. Oh
I
man.
think it was UAV, Wilson, Jugsy, and that was
Yes.
it, wasn't it? Yeah. That was my COVID watching you doing all that. It was yeah. But like I said, it was a real release for me. 'Cause, in all seriousness, it was a tough time, and I'm sure I'm not the only one who's
Nice, nice, nice.
having you there was it.
Well, I really appreciate it. And then, as Alex, she's one of the producers of the show. She would say blessing and doves, blessing and doves, and it's the truth. It's like when we played Modern Warfare 2019. That was such an amazing game, such an amazing game. We had so much fun playing that game. I mean, to the point where we were having clan battles like crazy, and I'm pretty sure everybody that's listening that's a gamer, they love the game. Like it's one of the top games in Call of Duty history, and I'm gonna be honest, man. I know that there's a lot of Call of Duties out there, and I know a lot of people are probably say, "Well, Dolo, you know what? I believe that this Call of Duty is better than this Call of Duty, or this Call of Duty is better than that Call of Duty." But I'm gonna tell everybody. I want everybody to know this. And you I can hear people right now. No, that's not true. I'm a Vanguardian, okay? I like Call of Duty Vanguard. Vanguard was amazing. Okay? Okay, it was amazing. I have to say that. I really have to say that. But before I go into anything further, I just want to take this time to make sure everybody knows that we do have a sponsor for this episode, the second episode of the Talk Your Game podcast. And I just want to make sure everybody knows what's going on. So with that being said, let me switch gears. There we go. Shout out to Jay Humble from Jay Humble Drip Collection. Absolutely.
Thanks to our sponsor, Humble Drip LLC. It's not
Humble Drip LLC. Thanks to my man Jay Humble. He has some new pairs of high tops. And shout out to Humble Drip Collection LLC. Make sure you go check out my boy Jay Humble is in the building. So with that being said, we're gonna get back to my man Alan. So with that being said, so What do you think about Vanguard?
I think Vanguard is probably one of my favourite games
Okay.
in recent years. Yeah, I do love the old. I'm a bit of a old person. I do like work like theme because obviously that was where my roots. So Call of Duty, as you know, the first two or three or four actually were all themed around
Right,
the
right, right,
old
right.
World War. So I think it's just because that's when I first got into gaming. I do, and I like the side of it. I enjoy World War II in love Vanguard. I think they just got the game right with Dead Drop. Dead Drop was such a good. Those that you don't know, Dead
Okay.
Drop allowed you to basically get a kill streak.
Okay.
At Dead Drop, you could use
Okay.
save your kill streak at that point, so you could carry on if you died, and then you say you had a five, you could carry on from five, and it made the game really fun. And I don't mind getting killed, and I don't mind having a negative game, but it just made the game fun because it made it easy to get your score streaks, and maybe that would say, oh, but that's too. I don't think it was because people used to get me, vice versa. It just made the game really fun. So yeah, no, I did like Vanguard. I thought it was.
Okay. Now, I did get a message from one of the producers, like, you know what? Maybe Josh can turn it down just a little bit, just a little bit more, and then we're gonna go into our next question. And this is something that is really, really big. Speaking of Josh, Josh, for everybody out there that doesn't know, Josh is Alan's son, and along with Alan, he's been watching the show, watching the streams on Facebook, and tell me a little bit about Josh, Alan, and his streaming status with his mates, and how he will watch you play. Like, tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I've turned my mic down. Is that okay now? Too low or not? Just let me know.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just I said station.
Go ahead. Did we lose
You
you?
know what I mean?
Okay,
So
there we go.
hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you. Are you
Yeah,
connected to your controller?
yeah, I'm connected with the yeah.
Is it plugged in or is it by itself?
Alf doesn't need to be plugged.
Yeah, you might want to plug it in. Then it might be that may be the reason. If you charge it, like you know how you charge your controller,
Yeah, it's plugged.
it's plugged in. Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah,
Yes.
with Josh.
Mm-hmm.
So we'd obviously
Now you're breaking up a little bit. Did we lose you?
got me.
Okay. I think we're having.
Hear me?
I can hear you now.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I don't know what technology.
Okay. So yeah.
Joys of technology.
So tell me a little bit about Josh and
So
his gaming. Did he what was his streaming experience like?
yeah. So like I said, it was all based around I think watching you really.
Oh, really? Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. He really he kind of like fascinated him. He was like, "Oh, I stream Dead Out on the stream." So we started off Fortnite, Apex games,
Uh-huh.
Call of Duty, but game at the minute. It seems, but it's whole setup. So it's got like LED lights, like posters up. He's got a big backdrop behind his sound system, everything. So he's gone from being playing a little bit of Fortnite to having this full on streaming. He plays with his friends a lot online and stuff. They've got their own. A lot of it, like I would say,
Wow.
what he saw watching you, he was kind of enthused and really inspired by your streaming and your game. So not only helped me, I'll definitely say you've supported.
Oh,
done to
absolutely.
love to get the love of gaming, yeah, and to what you can do with stream, what you can do with your setup.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I will definitely say that I am appreciative, because there are so many situations where, you know, um, there's a lot of people that stream, there's a lot of people that play games and stuff like that, but situations like this may not come about. Like they may not have a voice, when it comes to streaming or be able to tell their story. So I'm excited that, that we're in this position now that we could talk about, just the beginning, how it happened at the beginning. And, there's a lot of, you know, throwbacks to when people started streaming. And I mean, I got so many stories to tell as far as, streaming is concerned, for me, but man, just to hear, Josh, you know, you know, because of the COVID-19 era, and you homeschooling them, and then it's like, man, this is a terrible situation, and then all of a sudden you start watching the streamer, things change, and lives are changed because of it. So now, he's able to play, and you know, so when Josh started, how old was he, Alan?
Oh, good question. He's 13 now, around 6 years, so he's about 7.
7. Wow. 7 years old, and now he's a teenager. Wow. And for those of you, look, I'm gonna show you guys Alan one more time. So let's go. This is Alan. This is Alan, and that's his son Josh. Yay. That is him. So for those of you in England, shout out to all of my folk that's in England that's listening, that will listen, that will watch. That is my man Alan. He is my very first subscriber, and that is Josh. That is Josh. He's a teenager now, going to the football games and so forth and stuff like that. So is Josh around?
He's just downstairs at the moment. Sorry, Dolo. I don't want to shout at the top of my voice, otherwise I'll sound problems.
No, yeah, you're good. You're good. You're good. Um, but I'm so excited, man. I'm just so excited. Like it is a beautiful thing that you have situations like this that people are extremely blessed because of a situation like this. It just makes me happy.
But do you remember he wrote you a letter?
What'd you say?
He wrote you a letter, didn't he? Do you remember?
Oh yeah, you do you
Yeah,
have
you've
it?
like, no, I've not got it to hand now, but I can remember him writing it. So he would be
Oh wow, is he is
just to
he,
say thank you.
does he want to read it?
I don't think he's got it anymore, to be fair. He's probably put it somewhere safekeeping, but he hasn't got it to his hand. But I remember him saying, oh, that Dolo a letter. I was like, well, go ahead, write it and we'll read it out. Because obviously in them days you get
Yeah, 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 yeah.
take a video, can't you? And I remember him reading. Yeah, he was, like I said, he's
Wow.
watching
From
relation
seven
to
years
himself.
old, 7 years
Yeah.
old to 13, and so for those of you that don't know, um, so Josh is Alan's son, and he's been watching me, been a subscriber for over what 6 years now, 5 6 years, and he is the second winner of the 1 million kill celebration. I'm super excited, and I want to announce it today. Alan and Josh will probably be using your controller.
He would, absolutely.
you know, so Alan is the winner of the Hex gaming controller and the second winner of the 1 million kill celebration. So shout out to my folk out
Boom,
there.
boom. Thank you very
Yes,
much.
absolutely. And it's just a pleasure. It really is. It's just a pleasure to be able to sit here and talk with you about some of the things that you know you've been through, and you know just COVID, post COVID gaming, and Call of Duty, and then there's just so many things that Activision can do. I mean, just give us the opportunity to kill these cheaters, man. Give us put it in a I don't know, some type of update. Give us the ability to kill people. Like we get 3 kills to their 1, and then we will destroy them. And there won't be. I mean, I think that's one of the major solutions to cheating. Aimbotters and hackers and stuff like that. You shoot them, and you get 3 kills for the price of 1. That's gonna be pretty good. They're gonna leave because I make them leave even without it. You know what I mean?
Definitely. It's the ones that go right and left and swear left to side, and you're just thinking, no, I'm not having that. No way.
Right. And it's just so many cheaters in this game, which could be 100% a whole lot better. I mean, there's so many people. And I, for one, am a voice, that I've encouraged everybody to subscribe to the YouTube channel so that I could be a voice for everybody else that doesn't have a voice, whether you're a small streamer, casual streamer, esports player, big major streamer. It doesn't matter. It's like we want people to get representation, and that's one of the reasons why we started this podcast, is because there's not enough representation for those that are crying out to these major multi-billion-dollar corporations. Well, just imagine for a minute if 1,000,000 people, 100,000, 1,100,000 people came together and was like, look, they're all saying the same thing. I'm like, look, Activision, you see all of these people? This is 1,100,000 people that have said they want to change this game. And this is all in a podcast. Look at the comments, look at the shares, look at what's going on, because people are tired of being, victimized by these cheaters. I mean, they're purchasing cheats, these wall hacks, aim bots, Cronus in, Cronus Max, whatever. And, we're trying to play the game legitimately. And even with tournaments, like, if they're using this software, it tarnishes the tournament. Like, not unless they're on land. So that's my own little personal situation with that. But so Alan, so tell me a little bit more about your family and football. Tell me about football, because England is huge. So anybody from England that's watching this, or anybody from the States that loves football, Alan, tell me about your favorite team, and then that picture with you and your son.
Yeah, so my favourite team is a small one, so not many people outside of so they're called Oldham Athletic. So me and Josh go and watch them. It was passed down to me, my dad, and my dad used to watch them because that's where my dad and granddad used to live, near Oldham. So it was kind of a geographical thing. And the football team is either where you live, where you're born. So in England, you live near Liverpool, you support Liverpool.
Mm-hmm.
Born there, or who your dad makes you support. So I was obviously growing up when I was very watching football. Dad supported Oldham, so I went and started dad, and then that got passed down to Josh. Unfortunately, I did say to him, "You don't have to come with me because we're not very good." to be honest, we're not very. See on some of my comments, won't you, on it? So I've always having about how bad we are, but Josh loves it, and it's just family, father son time, all the games together. Loves going. It's better than watching something on TV. Actually experiencing with your son, win, lose or draw, we have a great time. All the match together. Chat on the way home. It's about an hour. I live to Oldham. We have a debate on the way home about who's played well. The referee didn't do. Why didn't the manager make this substitution? All these kind of. We follow them through thick and thin. Don't really watch them because win trophies. We watch them just because of the love, the love of football and family, the time we have together. So yeah, Oldham Athletic. Keep an eye out for them. Hopefully we might get promoted. Might be one good season. You can only hope, can't you? We'll see.
Yes. And with that being said, man, look, I've been to England. I've never been to a football game while I was in England, but when I do come, I'm definitely going with Alan and Josh and the fam, and I'm just super excited. And that's going to be our time for the Talk Your Game podcast. And our guest, Alan Brierly, his son, Josh, and the family. Much love to you and the family. And of course, a shout out to the sponsor, Humble Drip. And we're going to go ahead and get up out of here. But before we do that, I want to tell everybody blessings and doves. All right, you guys take care. Peace.